Are you wasting your time by the way you handle new recruits in your business? Not all recruits are created equal. Stay tuned for the step-by-step process on how you can handle new recruits. Welcome to the Network Marketing Personal Development Show here on Finding Leadership Within, where you learn to unleash your potential, grow yourself, and grow your network marketing business. My name is Gabriel Klingman, author of the book Opportunity Switch, author of the book The $1 Million Employee, and co-founder here at Finding Leadership Within. And today, we're going to talk about the cold, hard, uncomfortable truth about new recruits. Specifically, we're going to talk about the 4 emotional states that every new recruit goes through and why that's so important, and how you can use it to get a leg up on your competition. Next, we're going to go over the 80-20 rule, what that is and how that affects your business and what you can do about it. And finally, if you stay till the end, we'll show you exactly why not all recruits are created equal and how you can maximize your efforts and minimize your time. But first, if you want up-to-date weekly training on how you can unleash your potential, grow yourself, and grow your business, then hit that subscribe button. Point 1 is the emotional journey that every new recruit goes through. This emotional journey breaks down into 4 stages. The first is uninformed optimism. The second is informed pessimism. Third is informed optimism. And then finally, we have success, the 4th stage. Now I'm gonna break each of those down for you right here. Stage 1 is uninformed optimism. This is when you have no idea what it will actually take to get the job done, but you're excited about it. This is where every new recruit starts. This is where we say things like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. This will be a blast. If you've ever taken an online course and said, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be so much fun. I got this. And you were in the uninformed optimism stage. This is the same stage that we go through when we first try and learn something new. When we first pick up guitar, we think, oh, you just press your fingers on a couple strings. This should be easy. That's uninformed optimism. Stage 2 is informed pessimism. This is when reality sets in. This is when we realize that to get the results we want is going to take a lot of work. Right? It's no longer rainbows and butterflies, it's compromise that moves us along, right? That is informed pessimism. You've moved past the uninformed optimism where you thought it would be so easy and you could do it in a heartbeat. Now you think to yourself, this is way more work than I ever thought possible, and I don't know if I can do this. That's informed pessimism. Now the reality is, most people stop right there. They stop at informed pessimism. They get past the uninformed optimism, and all of a sudden they start to feel this hardship, this difficulty, and they say things like, this is way too hard for me, or I don't have the personality to make this work, or this just isn't an opportunity for me. Informed pessimism. Most people stop right there. But if you continue through, then you get to the 3rd phase, which is informed optimism. This is where you say, yes, this is a ton of work, but I think I can do it. You have belief in yourself. You acknowledge that this is not going to be easy, but you believe that you can do it. Informed optimism. The 4th and final stage is success. This is when you achieve what you set out to achieve. This is where it feels amazing. And the reason most people don't get here is they stop after phase 2. After that informed pessimism, they stop. A few years ago, some friends and I went out to my favorite Chinese restaurant. And at the end, we get our fortune cookies. So I take mine, I crack it open as everyone else is doing, and I read my fortune. I keep it in my wallet to this day. And it said, never start something until you've considered what it means to finish it. This sums up the 4 stages perfectly. Never enter into stage 1 until you've considered what it looks like to get past stage 2, through stage 3, and into stage 4. So how does this apply to you and your new recruits? Well, it means that there are 3 action steps. There are 3 things that you need to do every single time you have new recruits. The first is to identify what phase that they're in. Some new recruits will be in phase 1, complete and utter bliss, uninformed optimism. Some new recruits will be in phase 2, informed pessimism. You have to identify what phase they're in, and then have them self-identify. Have them watch this video that we've gone through so far. Show them the 4 phases, and then have them identify what phase that they are in. The reason this is so critical is because it sets the expectation up front. When you tell them right off the bat, hey, this is going to be difficult. And when they can identify that they are in the uninformed optimistic stage, they can realize that this will be difficult themselves. And then when things get difficult, it won't bother them. They will have that expectation that it will be, so they won't stop the moment things get hard. That is what this will do for you. The second thing is to embrace the uncomfortable. Embrace the awkward. Embrace that feeling of inadequacy. Because if you are not doing something you've never done, then you will never have the results you've always wanted. There's an old Zen saying that I have always loved. You should meditate for 20 minutes a day. Unless you're too busy, then you should meditate for an hour. What I love about this saying is that it communicates when things are uncomfortable, when you feel inadequate, that's when it is most important to push through. That's when it is the most important to keep going, to stay the path. Do not stop when things get hard. Step number 3 is to have your new recruits reaffirm their identity. This is so crucial. If you think back to the 4 stages, what was it that was different about each stage? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then stage 4. What it was identity. In stage 1, you said, this is easy, I can do this. Then you get into stage 2 and you say, I can't do this. This is too difficult. Stage 3, then you say, this is difficult, but I can do this. This is all about identity. What do you believe about yourself? One of the best ways that you can craft your identity is through affirmations. I'm going to have a link in the description for an entire course completely free for you YouTubers that I've created on creating your own personal affirmations, changing your life through affirmations backed by science. Click that link in the description if you want access to that course. Regardless, I'm going to give you my favorite 3 identity affirmations right here for you. My worth is not dependent on my output. I am loved and accepted regardless of whether my business is at the success level that I want it to or not. I will put in the hard work, especially when it's difficult. Point number 2, not all recruits are made equal. Yes, you should be there for your team, but that does not mean you shouldn't prioritize certain people. There's something called the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule, and it's that 80% of your results, almost all of your results, are because of 20% of your actions. That's 20% of what you're doing, 20% of what you spend your time on is responsible for getting you 80%, almost all of the results that you have. This isn't just some principle that you learn in school that has no practical application in real life. This is actually a guiding principle outside of business. In fact, it measures the mass of stars. 20% of stars make up 80% of all of the mass of stars. 20% of the cities across the US can have 80% of the population. And within each city, 20% of the land house 80% of the population. But this also applies to business. 20% of employees produce 80% of the results. 20% of a company's products produce 80% of the revenue, just to name a few. Jim Rohn is famous for saying, there's only about half a dozen things that make 80% of the difference in any area of our life. So the action step for part 2 is actually really simple. Identify which new recruits are putting in the work. Now here's exactly how Jordan Adler goes about this process that he explained in an interview we recently did with him.
In terms of who I'm going to work with, it's going to be people that are messaging me consistently, that are doing something, so they're actually producing something. They may not be doing it right, so that's okay. They're doing something, and then they're showing up, meaning that they're attending the conferences. And they don't need to be coerced. They don't need to be pushed.
From a practical standpoint, how do you identify who are the movement makers in your business and who aren't? Well, there's a trick we learned from Natasha Robertson, known as the Mom to Millionaire, in an interview we did with her. And she said that she has 2 meetings every single week. One is with her entire team, where she'll give them company updates. She gets people motivated and excited. They support each other and they celebrate wins. And then there's a second meeting. The second meeting is a meeting of accountability. This is where it is not required for you to go, but highly encouraged. And it's where you share your goals for the next week. I will share my business with X amount of people, and every week people show up and they challenge you. Did you do that? Did you follow through and meet the goals that you set? This is how you can tell who is putting in the work and who isn't. Point number 3, everyone joins network marketing for different reasons. This is a framework I learned from an interview I recently did with Big Al.
If we look at it from our viewpoint, our own selfish viewpoint of the world, well, we want everybody to fulfill our wishes. Unfortunately, that's not on their agenda. So let's look at their agenda. People join network marketing for a lot of reasons. And they join for, let me give you some of the non-monetary reasons. Some people join because we're a lot more positive than the jerks by the coffee machine at work. They're always talking about bad things in their life, and we're always talking about moving ahead. Some people join for the personal development. They like the community where everybody supports each other. Maybe they love the products or the service or how they save people money. And maybe they got a little part-time bonus check here or there, you know, they can spend on the kids or on a holiday or something. And then some people join for money. Now, they all might say they join for money, but they quickly gravitate toward what they like. You're going to see people in network marketing for 30 years. 30 years, never got a bonus check once. But it's their social life. They learn things like goals. I had never heard the word goals until I got into network marketing. They never brought it up on the farm. They never brought it up in engineering school. Of course, we don't even talk to people there. So, you know, we learn new things. So, if we look from their viewpoint, what do they want? Most of the people in our group want to belong.
Everyone joins for a different reason. Some people join because they like their products. Other people join because they want the community, the camaraderie. Some people join because of the personal development. Some people join because they want a side business. Others join because they want it to be their full-time career. Everyone joins for a very different reason. You can't assume that everyone who joins has the same reason that you do. Why is this important? Well, growing up, I hated geometry. Absolutely hated it. I hated algebra as well, but I was at least good at algebra. Geometry, I was terrible at, and I hated. Why? Because I wanted to be a baseball player. I wanted to play for the Red Sox and be Johnny Damon's teammate. That was my goal in life growing up. And I didn't see how geometry got me anywhere near there. It was completely useless to me. So don't teach geometry to someone who just wants to be a baseball player. And don't train someone how to make this their full-time income if they just want the community. There's only one action step for this, and it's to figure out why the people are joining your business. Are they joining for a community? Are they joining for personal development? Are they joining to make this their full-time gig? Figure out why. You can do this by asking a few questions. What events do these people go to? What excites them? What are they passionate about? What are they really good at? What are they naturally bad at? What are the things that they avoid? Answer these questions and you can help understand why your people are joining your team. Once you understand that, you can help each person get the results that they're looking for and then prioritize your time with those who have similar goals as you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you watch this whole video, you now know how to identify why people get stuck in their business. You then know who you can invest your time into, and you know how to align your intentions with your team. If you got any value from this at all, hit that like button. And if you want up-to-date weekly training, hit that subscribe button and let me know. I will be right here next week with more info to help you unleash your potential. Until then, grow yourself, grow your business.